All right, everyone, welcome to Book Club. This is Mr. Martin, and let me explain a little bit about this assignment. Okay, so what a book club is essentially a bunch of people get together and they all read the same book, and they're able to discuss characters, settings, plot, all the stuff that happens in a book together with other people that are following along generally about the same place that they are. They can talk about it, they can discuss it, they can argue, they can do whatever they want because they are in a club together reading a novel. What I want you guys to do, at least for the next couple of days, is decide which book you want to read. I put a collection of classics together and I posted them right here on this web page. As you see, they go ranging from Treasure Island to The Wonderful Wizard of Oz to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland to my favorite, Sherlock Holmes Study in Scarlet, one of those novels. So here's what separates these books. So they're deemed classics. Okay, these are books that everyone should have heard of. At least a majority of society has heard of these books, and they're classics because they're really good. They're deemed culturally significant, right? They have something to teach us. At the time, they were set apart from the other novels of the day. They were extraordinary, and that's why we celebrate them as classics. Another reason that they're classics is they're public domain, and really what that means is they're free. And this is an easy way for me to get books to the entire class. So what I want you to do is I want you to click on this first link. It's called Standard Book Descriptions. And what this is going to take you to is our list of books. And it's going to have a summary for each of them. So Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. And you can read what's in that book if you've never heard of that book. The Secret Garden, Anne of Green Gables, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Okay. Next, Little Women, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain, and then the ones that I've added on at the end, they are Sherlock Holmes novels, A Study in Scarlet, The Hound of the Baskervilles, and then The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which is a collection of short Sherlock Holmes stories. The reason why Sherlock Holmes is on this classic list is it's among my favorite novels ever, and I just thought it would be fun if you guys weren't interested in something like, let's say, like Little Women, you could read about a detective like Sherlock Holmes. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a look at the list. I want you to pick one novel. You're going to select one novel. That's the one that you're going to read for the next 3.5 weeks. Okay, we are going to try to finish these novels before the end of the quarter. Along the way, we're going to have a number of check-ins, and then naturally there'll be something due at the end that shows me that you read the story. Now, when you've picked which book you want to do, what I want you to do is go to this Google form. This Google form is just our list again, and it's pretty simple. You're going to just click on one and tell me which one you're going to read. I want to know what you're going to read so I can group you together with people who are also reading the same book. That's the only reason why you're telling me which novel you're going to read. Please don't flip-flop too much. It becomes harder as we get into this. So take your time the next couple of days to figure out what you really want to read. Investigate it now, and then you will not be left behind when we start reading and get into our book clubs. Okay, so one more thing before I go. I want to go back to this description. Let's say you do pick which book you want to read and you want to get started reading because you're bored. Okay, good. What I want you to do is you go to this standard book description, and if you just kind of hover over or click on it, there's a link for each and every book on our list, and that takes you to Gutenberg.org. I told you these were free. This is the best way for me to get these novels to every single person in our pod. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Gutenberg.org and you're going to click on whatever version of the media you want to read. They have a Kindle version. They have an EPUB version with or without images. Okay, and this is pretty cool because this is a way for you guys to be able to read these books at home. Now, if you go to Project Gutenberg, you'll notice there are a ton of books that are free on this website. So I invite you to investigate it a little bit. Now, okay, I've heard this before. Mr. Martin, I want to read Anne of Green Gables, but I don't want to read. And there's my Treasure Island book finally popping up right there, right? This is the EPUB version of it. Okay, so look, it's pretty simple, right? You get a book right at home. That's what it looks like, right? It's not a novel, in your hands, like old school style, but it will do. These are very cool. these EPUB versions of these books. Now, once again, let me go back to my tale of the person who wants to read Anne of Green Gables, but just doesn't want to read anything. Well, Project Gutenberg takes care of you. Okay, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do a little bit of work. So I'm in the Anne of Green Gables section on Project Gutenberg, and I can go to the EPUB, the Kindle, or the plain text version. But I don't want to read. I don't want my eyes to go back and forth on a page. So what I'm going to try to do is find Anne of Green Gables, and I'm going to look for a speaker. And look at that. Okay, what do we think this holds, right? Naturally, it holds audio files for the book. So yes, on Project Gutenberg, they have audio books as well. Now, I don't think all of them are professionally read audiobooks, but once again, this is a no excuse deal. I've given you audio versions of these books so that you can read along with us and your group. So once again, look through the summaries. Pick a book that you want to read. Go into my Google form, vote for the book that you want to read. Okay, and then you're going to be done. Along the way, we are going to have check-ins, and along the way, we are going to have some sort of final project based on this. But for right now, I want you to select a book and start reading.